Vice Chancellor Jamia Hamdard for delivering keynote address on dynamic scientific pursuit for progressive ISM pharmacopoeia. So as I have already said that your address has set a right tone for the sessions to follow. We are grateful to Professor Larry Walker, Director NPR and Professor of Pharmacology, for sharing his valuable thoughts with the participants. We are also grateful to Dr. Naresh Trehan, Chairman and MD Medanta, the Medicity, who in spite of his very busy schedule could make to the venue and delivered a wonderful presidential remarks full of thoughts. We are also thankful to Dr. Trehan for all his and his team, of course, for all the help extended to the organizers for finalizing the logistics of this symposium. Our special thanks are to ICMR, DST, DBT, CSIR, Medanta, and NCNPR in supporting this event. We are also thankful to industry like Invitrogen, Roche Diagnostics, Sigma, SD Fine Chemicals, Thomson and Reuters for partially funding this symposium. I am thankful to Dr. Ram Vishwakarma for taking a lot of interest in finalizing the program of this symposium and looking into the symposium, even into the minor details of organizing this symposium. My special thanks are also to Professor Ikhlas Khan, NCNPR, for his personal interest and special efforts in organizing a delegation from USA. In fact, I would like to share with the House that he had organized 3-4 more experts from US FDA, but because of the financial shutdown in US, that fizzled out. Otherwise, this delegation would have the numbers 8 to 10. So, Dr. Khan, I am really thankful to you for your efforts. I am extremely thankful to the advisory committee and organizing committee drawn from CSIR, Medanta and NCNPR and industry and other scientific institutes for their valuable inputs in developing the scientific agenda for this event. The backbone of this symposium are speakers from both India and abroad. Without naming all, I put on record our grateful thanks and appreciation to all of them for agreeing to speak during the symposium and interacting with the participants during the sessions to follow. I will utterly fail in my duty if I don't thank all the participants having realized the importance of these deliberations and accepting our invitation and come here to be the part of this symposium. Many thanks to all those unknown faces contributing to the success of multi-institutional event. In one or the other way, I am also thankful to my colleagues from IIIM, particularly Dr. Sumit, Dr. Bikrama, and all the research scholars and students. And from Medanta, I am thankful to Dr. Geeta Krishnan, Dr. Pooja Sharma, and their group for helping in many ways to make this event a success. We are always, as always, we are thankful to electronic and print media for their presence, and we think that we hope that they will cover the proceedings in the technical sessions to follow. So at the end, on behalf of organizers, now I invite all present here to join the chief guest over a cup of tea outside this conference, and after 15 minutes we'll meet again to start our technical session 1. Thank you very much. Dr. Rama Jayasundar from All India Institute of Medical Sciences. You all are requested to please come on the dais and take your seats. So I request Professor Handa to start the session.
Good afternoon, friends. the first session of technical session of this program. We have good speakers in this session. Dr. Klaus Kahn, I think, who is a person who has immensely contributed in the area of natural products, coming from Mississippi, having had his background in the organic chemistry and then in the natural products chemistry area, professor of pharmacology, and also associated with FDA in the US. And his contributions are memorable in the United States Pharmacopoeia Commission because he has immensely contributed in the expert committee of the USP dietary supplements for botanicals. And I don't have to go into the detailed biodata, but I must say that the kind of publishing he has, about 290 or 300, around 300, are quite cited quite frequently in the area of natural products. And his passion for the quality control standardization is evident from the fact that he has been actively participating with the American Herbal Association, as well as other associations which are involved in the area of natural products. He is a member of the American Chemical Society and the Society of Pharmacology. Dr. Klaus Kahn is involved in PRISM program, and he was the person who took a lot of initiative in the Department of Ayush to take it forward. Now some results are coming up, and Mississippi has already trained quite a number of people from the Department of Ayush, from IIM, and that has disseminated quite a good scientific tempo at IIM as well as in the Department of Ayush. So the topic Dr. Klaus Kahn has selected is the herbal development of herbal products. Now it's quite a big topic. When we talk of a herbal product, sometimes the definition confuses. The herbal products covers herbal drug preparation, herbal medicinal product, as per European classification. Now when we talk of a crude drug, it's a herbal drug. When we slightly process it, it becomes a herbal drug preparation, including the extracts. So extracts sometimes become API according to the pharmaceutical nomenclature. And then herbal medicinal product is the product which goes to the patients. Now, at all three stages, if we take the traditional systems of medicines, all these herbal drug preparation, and herbal medicinal product are considered in the traditional systems of medicines. With a strong natural product chemistry background, his main passion is probably the fingerprinting and quality control. Now, when we talk of fingerprinting, it's a holistic approach to understand the inherent strength of the herbal drug or herbal drug preparation. And that is indispensable in the pharmacopoeias. All the pharmacopoeias of the world now have adopted the fingerprinting, chromatographic fingerprinting. And the traditional pharmacopoeias also resorted. Initially, there was a lot of reluctance for the acceptance of this, but now it has come out to accept this area. And then comes the question of, when we talk of the fingerprinting as a one of the quality parameters of the crude drugs, how to compare it, with what to compare. Then there is a generation of marker compounds. So we have a speaker for speaking on the generation of, who's a very good organic chemist. And marker compounds can be defined as an analytical tool for standardizing our food extract. The marker compound could be therapeutically active, which is ideal. But rarely we find that one therapeutically active compound in a holistic plant material. And second category of the marker compound is pharmacologically active. It may not be therapeutically active, but pharmacologically active. And third is an analytically strong marker compound. And fourth is a unique marker compound, which is unique to the plant. And the fifth category is a negative marker. We have certain toxic principles present, and that toxic principle has to be identified, limit has to be laid down, And so this is what the marker compounds are important. Whenever we introduce the chromatographic in the quality control standardization, I think the availability of marker compounds is becoming a big challenge. And for that, the University of Mississippi can play an important role. And triple ion, already we have discussed and we are debating upon establishing a national repository of the PRS and BRS, Botanical Reference Standard and Phytochemical Reference Standards, which are extremely important to ensure the authenticity as well as the quality of the raw material. Most of the problems arise from the raw material, and in India, in our traditional system of medicine, 90% of the plant material comes from wild sources. And that's the tragedy, which creates a lot of variability in spite of the fact that you take a botanically identified material, authentic material, still there are variations. There are many variable factors, chemotypic variability, ecotypic variability, genotypic variability, and that creates a lot of variation in the plant material. Then of course, this kind of variability, sometimes you will find the pharmacopoeia, unlike in a modern pharmacopoeia, there is always flexibility in the figures that you give. They range from this to this. So you will not have a rigid value like the Indian pharmacopoeia for the modern system of medicine. So we have to make some kind of accommodation of the material and the variability which is existing in the plant materials. You see, when we think of a plant, there are primary metabolites, there are secondary metabolites, and if it is a holistic approach, then of course we have to take everything in account, and scientifically we should see that their presence is there when we talk of development of a product. So it's quite a complex situation when we talk of the quality parameters. And Dr. Kastam will be talking about this herbal development of the herbal products, and we will look forward to listening to you. Thank you.